But welcome to the Success Connect Mastermind. Today is March the 16th already. Can't believe this month. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. So wear green or somebody's going to probably pinch you, I guess. Isn't that how it works?
If you wear orange.
Yeah, they were warned.
You wear orange and the green person pinches you.
Oh, I see. Okay. So anyway, tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. But we've been kind of sitting the foundation up a little bit the last couple of weeks. And this is called Success Connect Mastermind. And in a true mastermind, you literally mastermind. You use, you pick each other's brain. I mean, figuratively speaking, but you bring your struggles, you bring your challenges, you make commitments of what you're going to do for next week. And then I'm just kind of turning it over for a minute for Jim to explain. Jim is a proficient masterminder. I don't know if that's a real word, but masterminder. And he and I, like I said, we had a long conversation last week, and there's a lot of things that we're going to do every week. But go ahead, Jim, the commitment thing. Can you just give that a little insight? And then we're going to call Mr. Jim, as long as he doesn't mind. He is Mr. Captain Commitment, right?
That would be, that side of it. I've been in like 3 different mastermind groups. The last one was 3 years. And a lot of what I have in my business now is because of that. The name of my business came out of a mastermind, the slogan, a lot of things. And what we did was we would bring our stuff that we were working on. And so, because being an entrepreneur, you find out you're by yourself most of the time. But when you're sharing stuff that's part of your business, you don't want that to go out anywhere. So having a control group like this is very helpful. And usually, let's say I'm working on an email campaign. So I wrote up this really cool, what I think is a great email. And I would bring that to the group and everybody would have their say about it. Normally you just bring copies, but on this format, we'll probably have to send stuff to each other prior to the meeting so people have a chance to look at it. And then we go around and people make their comments on what they think would be helpful, good constructive criticism. A lot of times my papers came back all ripped apart. You feel like you guys beat me up so bad. But then at the end, they'll say, well, what are you going to work on this next week? So we would tell each other that, but we make a commitment. It says, I'm going to redo this email and I'm going to try it out and see how that works or whatever. So that would be my commitment to the group, that I will get this done. And each person's going to have their own thing they're working on. And they make that commitment to the group. Then at the next meeting, my job as Captain Commitment would ask each one of you, did you get this done? Kind of like someone who's, what do you call that?
Accountability.
Accountability partner, except it's a group, not a partner. You should still have an accountability partner if you have one. But as far as the group goes, this is a great way. Accountability is a good way to get you motivated. I got to get this done. I promised the group, and you get it done. It's real good motivation for each person. So so each week we'll have commitments from everybody, and then we'll go over it in the beginning of the meeting, and at the end of the meeting we'll have our new commitments.
Yeah.
So and I'd be the one. I'll keep track of it. Captain. In my group, we call it Captain Commitment. Person.
Yeah. And I just thought that was kind of cute because right at the moment we can all be captain. Well, he's the captain. We'll just let him be the captain. So think about it, Jim. That was great. We're going to turn it over to Linda. So be thinking about your commitments. And Linda, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
So I am excited to share this today, and I apologize if there's a delay between my voice and my lips. It sounds like there might be. And I am also on a new MacBook Pro that I just got, and it is, I I thought I had this figured out. I thought I was going to be able to screen share, and now I can't find the button on the MacBook. I used to know how to do this. So I may not have a PowerPoint. I may just talk you through all of this instead, and I'll send you a worksheet as well to follow up with. Boy, I do wish I could come up with a button to do a screen share, but it is not showing up. If anybody, I don't see it.
Swipe right.
Oh, that's right. Angie has a Mac. So she's saying it's in the bottom left. Is that what you said, Angie? I think that's what you said.
Wow. Oops. Oh, that was me. Okay. No, there is no share screen button down here.
Okay.
No idea. All right. So I'm just going to talk you through it.
Okay.
Okay. So one of the things that I wanted to start with is just the idea that we whoop, am I still on?
Yeah, you're on. You're just, it's kind of but go ahead, keep talking.
Okay. So we'll talk about everybody's wins, and the wins that I'm referring to are wins that you may have had in the past week. Anything from like Jennifer gave us some really good things to think about last week that are kind of the foundation for what I want to present here today. And so if you took some time to take a look at some of that homework and found some ways to integrate, your characteristics of who you are as a person into your business, then that's a great foundation for where we're starting from today. Because if you think about the graphic, the image for this is 3 interlocking circles. And one of those circles is about your passion. Another one is about your purpose, which we talked about last week. And then today we're going to talk about profit in your business and how all 3 of these come together. And, there are things that we are all passionate about. There are things that might fall within our purpose, but they don't necessarily help us make a profit in our business. And so, we spent some time talking about what the idea of being 100% responsible, right? That's one of the concepts that Jennifer was outlining for us, that we have to accept 100% responsibility. And other things that we have to accept responsibility for within our business is that there are things that we are passionate about that don't necessarily make us a profit. And so one of the tasks that we have as business owners is to find that connection, that intersection of what we're passionate about, what our purpose is, the things that Jennifer has been helping outline for us, and how that combines into making a profit. And so when we talk about how to make a profit in business, one of the real foundational pieces in making a profit is to think about, well, what are the things that you like doing? And also, what is it that the market is going to pay you to do? Because there's a lot of things that we can do, but not everything is going to help us make money. So the idea with any of the businesses that we are operating is that we want to figure out what it is that is what I call a market dominating position, and how that business, your business, how you can add value to your customers and to your business so that it stands out. And that is the beginning of creating that market dominating position. So if you think about this, one of the reasons that any business is established is in response to market demand, something that the market wants, a product or a service. And so many people, some people get trapped in building a business that's based just on their passion without looking at the profit side. And sometimes money's an uncomfortable topic. And sometimes figuring out how to make it unique is a hard thing to do. So what we'll dive into today is first a little discussion about any insights that you had from the homework that we had last week, or the discussion that we had last week about your characteristics, any light bulbs that you had that went off about that, and how that relates to your business. And then we'll come back after we go around and let everybody talk about some of the ways that you may have had a win or an insight in the past week. We'll go around, we'll talk about that. Then I'll give you some information about how to make your business stand out. And then we'll see what insights you have from that. So just to be, to give everyone an opportunity to talk about wins that you've had in the past week. Let's start there. And any new insights or discoveries that you had about yourself and your characteristics, your personality, and how that fits with your business. So you guys decide. I think everybody here has lots of expertise, and I'm excited to hear more about just how you've incorporated what we were talking about last week into your business model. So who can go first and give us some insights that you've had?
I think Nicole's raising her hand.
Over here.
Oh.
Just kidding. If nobody else wants to start, I'll be more than okay. Good. First of all, thank you, Linda. This is such great info. And is this what you're talking about, where you have the two circles and then the middle is the profit, where your purpose meets passion? Is that kind of
Yeah, very, very close. That
very
is
close?
a good idea to just draw it, actually.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah,
I was just wondering.
Yep.
I was like, get that profit in the middle, but
In the middle, yes. Yes, because that's the intersection of, yeah.
And then what is it? I saw something, income producing activity that Angie said. So that's super cool. But I just want to thank you all, especially our leader, Jennifer Johnson, for the aha moment. And it's like, it was so neat because, you give us ideas and information and all that good stuff. And then Thursday morning, helping with the new group, the Givers Gain Networking. And we went around and we talk about our elevator pitches, our purpose statements, and just like sharing a story, about how we help somebody. And my, I can't remember if I said it here last week also, but somehow just talking about it. And it's like, my main thing is I want to, whoever I meet, I want to leave that moment, that time and moment, something with a little bit more meaning, like a better, that person better off than before we met, whether it's like a smile, whether it's an idea, because so often, it's like, oh yeah, I'm Nicole Williams, I'm an appreciation advisor. Well, it's not about, I'm learning. It's not about me. I'm more curious than the other person. What are you doing? How can I help you? So I just love that. And so thank you. So that's like my big, just been wanting to, it's so hard, it's like right in front of you, and, but you helped me articulate that. How about that?
That is fantastic. Yes, that's a great example. Yeah. And that very much ties into what you do in order to make profit, right?
Well, and we've,
Tell you what, here is
okay, there you go.
Okay.
all three circles.
Oh,
The middle that I colored in the black, that's where all three of them intersect. That really should be like the gold or the green or whatever, because there are things we could do to make profit that are not part of our passion or our purpose. There are things in our passion that are not part of the others. So 3 different circles there. Yes. So Nicole, thank you for the inspiration to just draw it on a piece of paper instead of trying to be all fancy about it. Okay.
But I guess
Who else?
Yeah, I guess I would just say something really quick. Thank you, Nicole. That was very nice of you. But, we've talked about in our groups, we always talk about our why. And honestly, until probably a year or 2 ago, I really was like, why am I doing this? I mean, literally, why am I doing this? I mean, I get to meet nice people like all of you. That's really great. But but I have also, now that we've been digging into the why, and it wasn't as much last week as much as, well, it has been that purpose life. I avoided that the last couple of years because I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know. But when I was looking up words and stuff, and I'm still trying to figure out one thing. But anyway, trying to figure out the right words. But I found that some of the definitions and some of the synonyms for some of the words that I was trying to use were music, and they came up with music terms, which sounds so weird. But it was like, yes, there is a connection. There is. I'm so excited. But it's kind of like, well, I like to sing. Well, I do, but there's something more there. And it's the same thing you get when you get very excited about people meeting each other. When I get on Angie's call or I get on any of your calls and, there's somebody on there that I know, or I get to talk to Danielle, a couple weeks, it's just so cool to think, what would have happened if we had not crossed paths at this time, or that, where would we all be? So anyway, for me, it's like, I tell you about my life purpose statement, and I really, truly, except for maybe 1 or 2 words I'm trying to come up with, but we can talk about. But anyway, so way back when, I mean, I'm like, I don't know, but I do think I'm starting to see that I can actually, my purpose and my passion and profit can all fit in the same. They can. There is an intersection. So I don't know.
Yeah, that intersection is so important. So important. Okay. And I cannot see everybody. I seem to be on speaker view and I can't get out of it. This thing is driving me crazy. So if anybody else is raising their hand, just start talking. Nope. Okay. All right. Well, let's what I want to deepen our understanding about with the profit section of the circle and how all of these things intersect is ways that you can make your business stand out so that you are able to add value to what you're doing, because all of us want to be able to stand out in the marketplace. And yet many of us do something where there are other people who do something similar, right? So the goal with this is, how do you add value? And it incorporates what you're passionate about, what your purpose is, and how you can make money, right? That's how all 3 of these things come together. So I'll just dive into some of the real nitty gritty part of this. When you're thinking about ways to make your business stand out and how to add value, one of the big ones right now is think about how you can provide more convenience. So convenience is the first category. And I'm going to give you 6 areas within convenience to consider. So we've got convenience first. With convenience, think about location. If you happen to have a brick and mortar store, or you can also think about location in terms of how people find you. Can you go to them? Mobile services are very big right now. Is there anything about your business that you could make mobile so that you could get there? So location is the first part of convenience. The next one is availability. Your customers want to do business on their schedule, not yours. And so ask yourself what you can do to make your business more available. That might mean extending hours, might mean being open on certain days of the week that you're not traditionally open. The third area under convenience is the ordering process. And so for a lot of us, the ordering process is something that we can take a look at and make it easier. So if ordering is typically a headache for your customers, what can you do to make it easier for them to order? We've all probably shopped on Amazon at this point, or all you have to do is click a button anymore. It's almost scary how easy it is to order a product, and it might be a pretty expensive product, and it's really easy. Click that button and it's in your cart and it's ordered. So what can you do to make it truly that easy? Okay, a fourth area to look at involves delivery. So delivery can mean a lot of different things depending on what type of business you're in. But when you're providing your customers with a more, if a convenient location isn't an option, is delivery something that you can make easier for them? So if they're downloading information, how can you make that easier? If it's a physical product, of course, how do you make that easier? How can you make delivery easier? The fifth area is payment terms. So if your competition doesn't offer any type of financing options, you can differentiate your business by offering payment terms over 30, 60, 90 days. The 3 easy payment plan. So here's an interesting tidbit around payment plans, that research has shown that a product or service that typically sells for $39.95 can be sold for twice that price by offering the customer a 2-payment option where they pay $39.95 at the time they place the order and an additional $39.95 in 30 days. Now, that's kind of crazy.
Mhm.
It doesn't, it's not logical, but people think that payment option is something that's very desirable, and they will actually pay twice the price for something just because it has a payment option. So when you're thinking about your pricing of your products and services, think about payment options. How can they pay? Can they pay monthly? For some people, they'd rather pay once every 6 months or once a year. So don't make any assumptions about what they want. Just give them options. Okay, another one to consider is miscellaneous services. And so what additional services do your customers consider to be important? If your business attracts parents with small kids, you can offer childcare services. If you attract people who are in a certain phase of life, what else might they be interested in that you can add that your competition isn't offering, right? So really think about that one, because there's a lot that can come under miscellaneous services. Okay, so those are the 6 items under convenience. But the second area, the next major area, is speed. Everybody wants things fast. They want it now. They want it on their terms. So what can you do to add value when it comes to speed? A lot of major players in the customer's buying decisions are paying attention to speed. So find some opportunities there. Make it easy, make it convenient. And ask yourself if receiving a product or service faster is of major importance to your customers. If it's important to your customers, then find a way to make it fast. Okay, the next area then is education and training. And for many of you on this call, education and training will be huge. If you're thinking about education and training, a lot of prospects and customers today value that as much as they value the price, and they want to take advantage of all the benefits, right? They're looking at those benefits, and your competition is likely to be offering some of those benefits that are related to, and that's a key. Make sure the benefit is related to the core product or service that you offer. So you don't want to, be in the makeup industry and offer something that isn't related to makeup or beauty products, right? Like, keep it related, or it doesn't make sense, right? Okay, so education and training is a really big bonus, some type of training that gives them more information about the main thing that you sell. The next area, the fourth of the 6 areas, is that if you can add value when it comes to service and remove the risk, remove the potential risk to the prospect. So this is where you see all the 100% money back guarantees, very generous return policies are out there now. That's quickly becoming the norm in most industries. Look at your industry very closely, and if you find that none of your competitors are offering that 100% money back guarantee, then you have the opportunity to get a leg up on everybody else. Return rates are something that are common, and you can factor that into your pricing. That once you know how many cancellations or return rates you tend to get, you just factor that into your pricing. Another area is in the area of quality. Quality can be a very big differentiator. So think about the quality of the service. And then the 6th and final area is related to security and safety. So there's a lot of internet scams out there today. Online fraud makes it very easy to make people scared and afraid to make that purchase. So what can you do around safety, security? If you're in, I don't know if anybody on this call does physical products. I think everybody is virtual. So yeah, there's a different discussion to have if it's virtual or if it's brick and mortar, but think about safety in general. And then the second big category then, outside of the convenience, is selection. And so selection is, different models or shapes or sizes or colors. What can you do around selection? Just think about, cell phones. They come in so many different colors right now. When I first saw all those different colors coming out, I thought that was kind of crazy. But actually, it's a big thing. People really consider colors and styles and all of that. And then the third and final major category is pricing. So I mentioned that a little bit before with the options on financing, but when it comes to pricing, you can really differentiate your business. So I want to highlight that, single one-time purchase, fixed pricing, payment plans, all of those are options. And so you can increase or decrease the price as you go. It doesn't have to be the same price all the time. You can offer a small value added services, and that might differentiate your product. What are those added services that you can get into. So those are just some of the more nitty-gritty pieces about how you can begin to stand out. But as a business owner, we really want to dive deep into how you can make your business stand out from your competition. And so I think with that, I want to stop there and just take questions and ask you for your insights, any thoughts that you have about your business that you could use any of those differentiators to add value to your business and make it stand out. I'll open it up to discussion. Tell me what your thoughts are here.
So really quick, I'm just going to jump in. And Linda, you and I did a whole profit acceleration thing. And we talked a little bit about how network marketing is a little different than solo entrepreneur. But as you were going through all of these, I'm thinking, first of all, I don't control any of these. If I were able to, if my company that I market for didn't already have some of these, I could do some things on my own to make it, I don't know, more convenient, more speedy, you know, whatever. But I have to say that Ever hits on every single one of these. Like,
wow.
Like better than any other skincare brand that I've purchased from other skincare brands in the past. So the convenience, the big thing that stands out for me is in the ordering. I create a digital cart and send them a link, and they click on it and it takes them into a cart already made, because that decision to buy, sometimes there's a big lag time between the decision to buy and the time to go in and log into the account, you know, what's my account and what am I buying? I send you the cart and you click checkout and that's it. It's super, super convenient and easy. Speed, we have expedited delivery that you can pay for if you want to. It's an option. The one thing that we don't have is payment terms, the 3 payments. However, in the recruiting process, if you join my team, you can use a PayPal credit card. Or they suggest the PayPal credit card because then that can be paid off in 3 different payments for your sign up. It is not available to customers, but they do save 10% if they put it on a subscription, and they also earn 10% in credits to spend later. So they have done things to make that more palatable in the payment process. Obviously, education and training, we're all about ingredients and quality. Our big claim to fame basically is we were the first, and I don't know if any other clean beauty brands even do this now, but actually do clinical testing. Most clean beauty brands, they're not testing for efficacy. They're just standing on the fact that they are clean botanical ingredients. But does it work? That kind of thing. We have the money back guarantee. Sorry. Is anybody else's dog's going nuts because it's spring? My gosh. Anyway, it's kind of nice to hear someone like you go through the things that are important and feel confident that the powers that be for the company that I market for have thought of everything.
Everything.
So, yeah.
That's great. Well, and you know, Angie, I would say one thing for you might be to make sure that you emphasize and repeat all of those things to your customers. Like, don't take it for granted, because I think sometimes with network marketing, it's easy to think, oh, well, this is just normal. Yeah, that's not normal. That, you know, that's great.
No,
so.
Hey, Linda, Jim had his hand up. I don't know if you can see him, but he's polite and putting his hand up.
Great, Jim, jump right in.
Even though my business seems a little different, because I have a platform basically as what I'm selling. It's a place where manufacturers and instructors or teachers can come, and I will provide the membership to use their product, or let's say. So one of my identifying the customers, I think, is real important. As far as convenience, I feel that the website offers that because it brings many teachers and many manufacturers to one location, with one base of membership. So I can bring in more of these types and increase my membership, which would increase more people to buy stuff and get percentages and things like that. But locations online, so that's don't have a storefront, so I think that's pretty convenient. Definitely available. And ordering process, I have mostly people either deal directly with the manufacturers and we have an agreement where they will pay us, or as far as the members go, we have a store, but that's mostly so they can get their free stuff. So we have, because they earn credits, and but it looks just like buying that kind of thing. So looking at this is really helpful. Noticing where I can kind of organize and how my thought process goes on who's the customer and how I can improve increasing profitability, just working with those and what I offer. So I think that's
Fantastic. Yeah. Good. I'm glad that's given you some ideas about how to think about it and just kind of spur some new thoughts. Yeah. And Jim, the other thing that comes to mind for me is for your business, and this isn't necessarily something to jump into right away, but to be aware of, is having an app. That if you had an app that people could download onto their phone and access your services, that would be another level of convenience instead of going to a website. Apps are
Yeah.
a big thing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had an app before. I think I paid with Dennis. Dennis built me an app, and back then apps, people were saying the same thing. You have a web page, now you need an app. But what he had was basically a table of contents where you click on whether it's your website or your social media or something like that. It really didn't do anything like a real app would do to get so those type of things.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother level of complexity as well. So I'm cautious about, I wouldn't even necessarily recommend it right now because
definitely not right
they're
now.
so complex. You don't need that right
Yeah.
now. You're doing so well with developing that website.
Well, he has come a long way. I didn't even know all that stuff, Jim. That's really cool. Danielle had her hand up too, and I don't even know if Danielle, everybody knows what she does. So take it away, Danielle. I mean, I think, I don't know.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
jump
you.
in.
Well, thank you all. Yes, I'm Danielle Valette from California, transferred over to the Netherlands. I'm in the Netherlands now, and I'm a ketogenic integrative health practitioner. So I do all of my work online. I work with everybody around the world, and whoever wants to work with me, I try to make sure that I'm a good fit for them as much as they are a good fit for me, because I'm a little energetic. So not everybody can handle that, and and also I'm also very I give a lot of myself, probably too much of myself to the client, and but right now I am working on getting more clients. And one thing I did see that I thought was so awesome, Linda, was wow, okay, so I have a website, and I promise if you looked at it 2 weeks ago, good night, you would have been like, oh, you need help, girl. But like, you really need help. But I have to tell you that my 16-year-old daughter, she's been telling me that, but I had not really mainlined it. I knew what I needed to do, but I couldn't clean it up just right.
Yeah.
I knew what I needed to do, but I couldn't clean it up. She gets on there. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. How about this, Mom? And what about that? And what do you think about this? And the color scheme needs to work with your logo, because your logo needs to pop out. And then you need specific typescript or specific font so people know who you are. And then every time they look at that, they know who. Like, girl, what? YouTube. So like, honestly, and I appreciate it because I know these things, but to apply them has been, like, for me, a bit different. But it's been so cool. And yeah, you can I'll put my website at the bottom or in the chat. But oh my word, it's night and day. I've gone through maybe 3 or 4 different themes. I started off with just a YouTube. This is my recipe website. And so I had it set up for recipes. And then once I became a ketogenic health, well, not even the health practitioner part, but a keto coach, then I said, okay, let's gear this towards coaching. And, that was very confusing. It looked a mess, but I did what I could do. And people who knew the website as The Lucky Stove, because the YouTube channel was The Lucky Stove, and it still is. But if you were to type in The Lucky Stove, now it redirects to ihinwacoach.com. Now, Ihinwa means nothing. It's actually Envision Health, Integrative Nutrition and
cool.
Wellness.
Cool.
Okay, so, but that was also my daughter's idea. She said, stop spelling it out. Just say Ihinwa Coach, and just, I think, it seems so simple, right? It seems so simple. If you just say it that way, I couldn't believe it, but I'm talking, but I have to say, the payment terms, that's something I wanted to build in, and I had to look at my WooCommerce because it has so much cool things, so many cool things, so many buttons to press, and the more buttons you have, the more you want to press them, and then sometimes you get yourself locked out. But when you, but again, that's what YouTube is for when you're confused. Now these days, YouTube tells you how to do everything. If you want to learn how to, change your name into a different, or if you want a title, YouTube tells you how to do that too. So, it's just really exciting. But I have to say that, like I said, the ordering, the payment terms, that's something I need to build on. And I knew about that. And there are variations. And there are variations where you could choose, like you said, the models and the colors and the sizes, because that's important. And I have, a standard, and I have a basic for absolute basic. Let's just get your nutrition on track. And then I have, okay, let's work on your health, because that's overall. Now, most people are willing to, change their diet if they know they're going to lose weight. That's just the way it is. I'll change it, but I better see results. And it's never usually, usually about health, but dragging them in with, oh, you're going to lose some weight. Well, yeah, if you change it, any diet that you remove processed foods, you're going to lose weight. But I mean, if that's what it takes, so the what is that? The funnel. You didn't mention it, but I'm pretty sure that was in your head. And that's something I would love to learn how to do. If you know how to do that. I mean, I know YouTube is there too, but look, you're right here right now, Linda. And and I appreciate the time.
Yeah, and we can absolutely talk about funnels, at another time. But yeah, the first part is just like figuring out, well, how are you going to stand out, and what is it about what you do that makes you stand out? And then we start funneling it down, right? We start with that really broad category and like figure out the words for it. And then, who out of that is actually going to become a client and pay and value the services that you offer.
Absolutely. And it's definitely those magic words, those niche words. Those niche words, those are the words that people need to hear. I promise I can explain something 5,000 different ways, but what they want to hear is, I'm going to help you lose weight, and I'm going to regulate your blood sugar, or I'm going to help you reverse your type 2 diabetes. Now, legally, I can't really say that, reverse your type 2 diabetes.
Right.
And that's another can of worms, but we can help reverse the symptoms that led you to that. And that is something we can do. So, good night.
So one of the things I was just going to say, Linda.
It's good.
Go
and
ahead.
Actually, what you just named. Well, so what you were just getting to is, and people have heard me talk about this before, the whole issue of identifying what it is that your customers want. What's the problem that's on the top of their mind that they are talking to themselves about at 3 a.m, at all day long? They're thinking about it. Like, what are those words? When you get those words figured out and you put those words in your marketing and on your website, then you're starting at the top of the funnel. And then you start defining yourself as being separate from everybody else because of all the other conveniences and values that you add to it. So
Yes.
nice. Yeah. And it sounds like you have a lot of clarity around what it is. People want to lose weight. They want to reverse type 2 diabetes. And if that's the way to get them into improving their diet and their health and nutrition, then okay, that you can do it that way.
Yeah, thank you. It seems very odd, but coming from, I reversed my type 2 diabetes. And so I'm a little more passionate about that.
Oh, that is great. Then you can use your personal story for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It helps
great.
up. That I story makes a big difference.
Yeah. Putting your personal story in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and if I just real quickly, I just would say, Nicole, did you have something you wanted to say though, real quick about that? No, you sure? Okay. Because I did, when Linda was working with me, I think Linda, Nicole, and I were on a call or something. We were trying to come up with my market dominating position, I think.
Yep.
And these ladies are over there making notes and they were writing down some stuff. And I think I must have been like a deer in headlights because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to make that. I mean, my market dominating position is I'm not going to do it. I mean, it was like we're trying to figure out how can I be different? Then how can our organization be different? I think that's really tough because then all of a sudden it hit me. It's like, oh my gosh, who's going to do all this? Who's going to,
Yeah, right.
Oh crap, it's me. Or, Nicole helps me. But that realization that, I mean, Jim, there's maybe you are very unique, but you're still trying to, everybody's trying to figure out that little thing that makes them special or makes their organization or makes, Angie, your company's great, but you are the icing on the cake. So you could be a total, what do I want to say? Horrible person. And it wouldn't matter how great ever is. You'd have, you know what I mean? You still got that thing that you got to pull off. That's you.
Yeah.
And I think that was, I just wanted to throw that out there because I think as I would say we've had a couple of meetings lately where there's been some people who said them, I'm like, wow, you really think that about our organization? This is cool. But I'm not feeling like because I don't know if you remember that, Linda, but there was just this one day, there was something and you guys were talking about it. And I'm like, oh my God, that's me that's got to do that. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, right.
no, I'm not promising that stuff. I'm not, but I do think, that it's extremely important because, yeah, you're selling. How many other ever representatives are out there, or whatever. We have to figure out a way to make us the one that everybody wants to go to, right?
Right.
So that's
And that's where our personal stories and our passion and our purpose come in. That's part of it.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Boy, Linda, you're giving us a lot of great ideas, and I want to say it's about that time already. Can't believe it. Captain commitment. We're gonna get our commitments here, and then next week we are going to dig into our life purpose a little bit. Please look at yours and put some thought into it. I tell you, when you do, it'll blow you away because it really Nicole said it was an eye opener for her. It just literally is. And you know what? The only way to do it is to do it. I hate to, but I was like, how can I get around this? Not this year, the last 2 years, I've avoided it and I knew we had to do it. So I sent out a thing called Life Purpose. And we'll kind of walk through that next week. But if you can send your life purpose statement, as Jim mentioned, Captain Commitment mentioned, I would like to do a lot of that kind of thing, outside of the meeting so that when we get together, everybody's got a copy of it. Don't be embarrassed. And if you just don't have any idea what your life purpose statement is, then that's where you're starting. Maybe we can give you some ideas, but, and it obviously evolves. it may not stay the same forever. You know, I mean, I will tell you more about my journey with them next week. And then, so Captain Commitment says, we need to come up with something that you're willing to, what would you be willing to commit here in about a minute? Let's go around and and I'm going to make note, Jim, I'm going to write it down, but you keep reminding us every week that we need to go through this, and we'll get into it better. But what could you do by next week that would be a good step, a big step, or and stretching is not a bad idea. You know, what could you do? Is there some, you don't even have to explain it. Just say, I mean, you can explain it, but don't, you don't have to. And for me, let me just say, I'm trying to get all of our contacts into the system that I'm using that Linda has got me working with. And you would say, oh, that should be easy. Oh my gosh, it is easy. We imported them, but now I'm going back and tagging all of our members. And we've got like a list of 1,400 people. So not all 1,400 are in our groups, but when you start adding, okay, they were TTR prospects, or they're Success Connect prospects, and then I've got my music world that I'm trying to put in there too. So I'm gonna continue to work on that. I will say our anniversary Saturday, I'm not working on Saturday. So on that, but anyway, that's my commitment. Yes. Anybody got any ideas how many years? I told Nicole. Anybody? Anybody else? I won't have you guess. You will never guess how many years we've been together. Okay. Any ideas? You don't even know him.
Just a number. Throw out any number.
Any number. Don't
53.
50. Who said that?
That's a good guess. Reverse the numbers. Reverse
30.
the numbers.
34. We're not 53 yet. Oh my
30.
gosh.
She was so close.
Yeah, right. She was close. All right, now.
That's really funny because I was gonna say 50. And it has nothing to do with your age at all.
That's my hair's gray, doesn't
Old,
it?
really?
What was I
Hey,
thinking?
who else would like to throw out their commitment? What's your commitments, people? Let me know.
Mine's my newsletter, my appreciation newsletter.
Okay.
How do you like them apples? Huh? Put that in
Good
there.
job. Good job. Yes, see, there you go.
Yes.
And what would you like to do? You'd like to have maybe the first one ready?
That sounds great.
Okay, there you go.
Great.
What do we-
On its way. On its way.
Oh, okay, on its way. Okay, cool. What else do we have?
I will.
I'm gonna learn-
Go ahead, Ed.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna learn how to use my MacBook.
Okay, Linda's gonna learn about her computer. Okay. I think that's a challenge. That would not be great.
Yes.
Linda, it took me a year.
And you're on
Oh,
Zoom.
yeah.
You're amazing.
I
Zoom
switched.
is hard to get on.
Yeah, it's just,
Yes, it is.
but I do have an iPhone, so that made it a little bit easier because that's the platform. But
Yeah.
just the whole, where in the world do I find everything?
Yeah,
And I'm not
Yeah.
100%
it's slowing
there
me
yet,
down
but
so
it is,
much.
it is way better. I love it. Absolutely love it. Even though there's still things I don't know where to find, I still absolutely love it. And my older daughters have MacBooks that are going on 6 and 7 years, and they're
Oh,
still
wow.
awesome. So it was a good purchase.
So there you go. Good
Everyone
idea. Uh-oh, she froze.
tells
Oh, there.
me it's easier, so I'm gonna watch tutorials.
Yep. That's what I had to do. Yep.
Okay, so we've got, let's see, Nicole, Linda, myself, who else?
Me.
Danielle.
I'm going to, when we were talking about funnels, I've had something floating in my head to have people sign up for my, it's a boot camp of sorts. It's a boot camp. The boot camp, it's kind of floating because every time I have an idea, I write it down. And I promise, I have so many ideas right now, but there's going to be something that connects people to subscribe. So I'm going to have them subscribe so that way I can start an email list. And that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, there you
Awesome.
go.
Danielle, I have a quick comment for you. I went to your website when we were talking about it, and
Sure.
while I'm on there, a pop-up came up to sign up for a boot camp that is in the past. It's the
Yes.
holiday, after the holiday.
Yes.
So you may want to change that. I just thought
I
I would
sure
point that
do.
out to you.
I
Good
appreciate
point.
that. Yes. My daughter, she
Just
told me,
change
she's
the
like, Mom, that was
date.
like,
Just change the
Oh,
date.
I wish I could, but that picture is so holiday.
It was
Oh, really?
beautiful though.
Oh, for
It's a beautiful
this
picture.
December coming up.
Let's
Yeah,
think
there we
about-
go. We'll just push it to 2023.
Yes, Jim, you had your hand up. What's going on?
I'm working on a introduction email to invite teachers onto my website.
Okay,
Ooh.
cool. I think you're doing exactly the right thing, focusing on those industries. I mean, you've done, and you'll tell us more about it as we go. I know I've known you long enough to know you've done a lot of different things, and yeah, it's pretty exciting to hear what you're doing. Cool. So who else? Is that all of us?
I think I'm the last one.
Angie, yes.
Yeah, my business is all about how many people do I reach out to? That's all it is, because I'm just a marketing arm. And I finally got set up on an awesome CRM. So my commitment is to hit my dashboard, even if I don't do it every day, by the end of by next Wednesday, have all the tasks that I've loaded in there completed.
Okay.
So occasionally I miss a day where I don't actually do the dashboard, but the next day I do yesterday's and today's, and it's made a huge change already. So.
Okay,
Very nice.
cool.
Very nice.
Very cool. Thank you, Linda, very much. I am, let's see, I am going to, it's very good to see everybody here. I'm going to